Here I am. How are you, everybody? You doing well? What a 24 hours. Seriously, more than 24 hours now since I concluded my show of yesterday. 25 hours or so. I've been in this form of communication for a long time. My first time ever, like really over the air, was in high school at my high school radio station, WKWZ, I believe is what it was called, WKWZ. And I was a junior in high school, and my dream had come true at that point. Like, I could not believe it. I mean, it was just a radio station run by the students, but I had dreamt of being on the radio ever since I could remember, listening to Marv Albert do the Rangers and the Knicks in the 60s. And that was a big thrill for me. And then it continued on at Bowling Green State University. And I ended up doing Division I college football play-by-play, Division I hockey, a little bit of basketball, but not a lot. And then I did an internship my third year of college. And I was fortunate enough when I did the internship to be working at a commercial radio station that carried all of the Bowling Green sports. And Glenn Cerny, who I absolutely love, is just one of the most special people in my life, who owned that small little station, WKIQ, on East Wooster Street in Bowling Green. And Glenn's wife was pregnant, and they were getting ready for the arrival of their baby. And Glenn sent me on the road for the Bowling Green hockey games. I couldn't believe that as a junior in college, I was doing play-by-play on commercial radio of Division I hockey. And Bowling Green was a national powerhouse, and that's where I met George McPhee, who to this day is at the top of the mountain in my life. And George has just the career that George has had is unbelievable. It's so special to me to watch him as a former player with the Let's Go Rangers. I can't tell you the thrill it was when George ended up playing for the Rangers. And then the general manager of the Capitals, he drafted Alex Ovechkin, had great success there, went to Vegas. He put the team together that won a Stanley Cup. But I'm kind of getting off the tracks here. That was a moment in my life that I'll never forget. And then I was on national TV, the first time I had ever been on television. I had never been on TV before. And I got a phone call from Vic Piano, the owner of the Ms. Sports Network. My dad, who played tennis all the time, and it is outdoor on the hard true courts of the Huntington Racquet Club. And his mixed doubles tennis partner was Vic Piano's wife. And my dad got to know Vic as well, knew about my background. And he told my dad once, hey, if I can ever do anything for Grant, let me know. Make a long story short, I'm on an airplane in the early 80s to Fresno, California. I'd never been to California before. And they told me to show up at a production meeting the night before, Friday night, 6 o'clock, at the hotel in Fresno, California. And I'm sitting at this meeting, and the meeting ends. And all of a sudden, Bill Schwing, who I talked to on the telephone, who's the director and the main man at Ms. Lou, Bill Schwing looks at me and goes, "Now, I'm really sorry. What are you here again for?" And I said, "Well, you told me to come here. I'm from Bowling Green." Bowling Green was playing Fresno State, by the way, in the California Bowl that Ms. Lou Sports Network was televising. They were basically ESPN back then. They did a lot of college bowl games. And Bill Schwing said, "Well, I can't just let you on my telecast. I've never even seen you work before. I would like someone to do the halftime so I can give my talent, my announcers, a break at halftime." Because I'll tell you what, come to the stadium tomorrow 3 hours before the game. I'll give you an audition, and we'll see how it goes. I said, Mr. Schwing, I understand completely. If I'm not good enough to go on your network, no problem. And I show up, and I'm in the broadcast booth 3 hours ahead of time. Howard David's doing the play-by-play, who went on and did the Nets, the Bucks. Howard David did Monday Night Football on Westwood One Radio, and I got to know Howard, and Howard was great, great. So Howard's doing the play-by-play, and literally 3 hours before the game, and then I'm waiting 2 hours before the game, 1 hour before the game, and the stage manager said, Bill said they're having a lot of technical problems in the truck. He's not going to be able to give you an audition. I'm like, okay. So I figured I'm not going on, right? I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes left to go in the first half. I said to the lady, the stage manager, I said, hey, during a commercial, I said, can you ask Bill if I'm doing this or not? And she goes, okay. Bill said you're going to go on at halftime, and you're going to interview the commissioner of the Mid-American Conference, whose name was Jim Lessig. It's amazing what I remember like it was yesterday. And you'll do some stats and highlights. Never been on TV before. National TV, okay? Never been on TV. Am I nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous with fear. I'm nervous with apprehension, because all my life I've been waiting for this moment. I say all my life. I was 22 years old, and I knew I could do it because I'd been practicing in my room, making believe I was on TV since I was in grade school. So anyway, I go on national TV. I'll never forget it. Ever, ever, ever will never forget those 8 to 10 minutes. I thought I nailed it, but, I don't know. So the game ends, and I'm leaving the stadium, and I'm walking by the TV truck, and Bill Schwing happens to see me as he just happened to come out, and he goes, Grant. He goes, oh, my God. You have no idea how nervous we all were in the truck, but you did great, and I wish you the very best in your career. I'm like, whoa. So I wake up the next morning, Sunday morning, and you literally can't even see out your window because of the thick fog in the valley, which I didn't know anything about. So my flight from Fresno to San Francisco back to, I think I was flying into St. Louis, was canceled. The flight to St. Louis wasn't canceled, but my flight was canceled. So anyway, and back then you were allowed to rent a car at that age. I rented a car, and I drove from Fresno to San Francisco. And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. I'm driving now through the mountains, right? Which I've never been. I don't know anything about geographic. I know the cities of California, but I don't know about the terrain. I don't know about California. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. When I came out of the fog, coming through San Jose, and it was 60 degrees. The sky was as blue as I've ever seen, and I couldn't believe it. And I drove across the Bay Bridge, and I just was on top of the world. Again, no GPS. I didn't even have a map. I'm just going by feel and directions. And I end up seeing the Golden Gate Bridge, and I'm like, I got to get there. That's my dream. I want to drive across the Golden Gate Bridge. And I'm driving across the Golden Gate Bridge, and like I have chills. And then I see the area up to the left. And I end up going on that road, which to me is the most scenic, beautiful drive anywhere that I've been in the world, and I've been blessed to be in a lot of places. And I went on that drive overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge to the left. And you know when you get to the top and you come down, right? And it's almost like you feel like you're literally gonna drive right into the Pacific. not a cloud in the sky. And the 49ers were playing the Falcons that night at Candlestick Park, and my flight was a red eye that I got put on. So I drive to Candlestick Park, get out of my car, and I'm like, man, no way I'm going to get a ticket for this game. Montana, Steve Bartkowski. I mean, like, and a guy literally comes up to me half hour before the game and goes, are you looking for a ticket? I said, yes. How much does it cost? He goes, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just here. The person that's supposed to come with me can't make it. And I said, wow, thank you very much. I ended up sitting next to him at the game and told him my story, and he was blown away. And I said, I can't even begin to thank you. Like, what a thrill it was to be at a Sunday night game with the 49ers and the Falcons. And little did I know that in 6 months, right, I'd be moving to California and starting my broadcasting career. And the reason why I'm telling all of you this is I've experienced a lot in my career. I've been through a lot. I've had great memories. Like, I've done amazing things. I've been blessed to do the National Hockey League with the San Jose Sharks for some games and announce a game at the Great Western Forum that Wayne Gretzky was playing in for the LA Kings. I was blessed to do the Raiders preseason games with Jim Plunkett and Artie Gigantino for 5 years on television. I've worked at ESPN Radio in Bristol, Connecticut. I've been so fortunate to fill in for Jim Rome for, I don't know, 15, 17, 18, 19 years. Like, I've done a lot of great things. If I never broadcast another day in my life, I'd be content. I have no regrets at all in my career. I did the Kings on TV for 32 years, 3 years on radio. I missed one game in 32 years. And that was because I couldn't get to, of all places, Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix because of thunderstorms, and they closed the airport. That's the only game I missed in my broadcasting career. I was on the radio in Sacramento at the same station in the same time slot since 1995. And the reason why I'm telling you this is I want you to understand what the last 24 hours has been like for me. When I announced that I'm coming back to the airwaves in Sacramento, I'm currently in Thailand. I told you that I just arrived here. I'll be leaving in 2 weeks. And after I got done with the show yesterday, of course, I'm looking at what the feedback is. I'm looking at the responses. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. I was not able to put my phone down at all, with the exception of 90 minutes when I was able to take a nap. Okay? For 14 hours straight before I went to bed last night. You have to understand it's Friday morning where I'm at right now. For 14 hours, I could not put my phone down. Messages on Instagram, Facebook, X, personal messages. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. I slept about 5.5 hours, 6 hours last night because I couldn't believe it. And it's important to me that I get back to everyone in some fashion, right? Hit a like, let them know that I saw their message. Like, that's important to me. Like, there's nothing more important than you. There's nothing more important than my supporters. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I do this. And I try to get back to every single message, unless it's vile and whatever. There were maybe, honestly, 5 of those out of thousands and thousands and thousands. So before I went to bed, finally, I can't put the phone next to me at the hotel, so I put it like far away so I just wouldn't be distracted by it. And when I got up this morning, I looked at my phone and I couldn't believe it. I honestly could not believe it. And I sat there in bed and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just blown away. And I'm spending literally until about, I'm not exaggerating now, 3 minutes before I signed on, I was still looking at messages and responding to people. And even right now, I'm looking at my phone and I've just got literally just like tons of messages. Well, you can't see it, but I have nothing but messages and messages. I've never experienced anything like this. And so I'm going about this in a long way because I want you to understand I'm sincere when I say this. Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm blown away. I've never experienced a 24 hours in this business like I just went through. And I went through a lot of stuff on the radio, and you know that, right? The Kings are moving, they're staying, they're moving, they're staying. Documentaries were made, 30 for 30 was made. Like, that was an emotional roller coaster. But I didn't get the reaction then that I'm getting now. And of course, social media has expanded even since then. I'm absolutely numb over the last 24 hours. And I just can't thank you enough. And I'll look at the chat messages here when I get a chance. But I thank all of you. And I thank all of you that have made this possible for me to come back, because 8 or 9 months ago, when Fox Sports Radio Sacramento contacted me, I'm like, no. And then I thought about it, and I kept on reading messages from so many of you that said, man, we'd love to have you back in SAC. We'd love to have you back in SAC. And I kept on reading that, and I'm like, I really do miss radio. I love doing this format, and we're going to continue to do this format, and we're going to continue to give you all of your Kings programming that we do with the post-game shows and everything. That's not going to change. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. We're going to have more of an audience. I'm pumped for that. But there's nothing like live radio. There's nothing like the power of live radio. And I'm like, let's do this. But then you don't really know after 5 years whether you're doing the right thing. You don't really know for sure if the market has moved on, right? Like, I think I know, but you don't really know. Well, I know now. Get ready, Sacramento, because I know now, and we're coming full steam ahead with our sleeves rolled up to our freaking necks. And beginning September 2nd at 3 o'clock, I'm coming at you 100% every single day, and I'm bringing it. And you're bringing it too, right? Monday through Friday, 3 hours every day. Good times, bad times, laughing, crying. You're a moron. I'm a moron. You're an idiot. I'm an idiot. That's the way I roll. If you don't like it, go listen to vanilla radio somewhere else. You're not getting vanilla with Napes. It's not how I operate. Right? It's not how I roll. I'm coming at you. You're coming at me. Call it love, hate, relationship. Call it love. Don't like you, Napes, today, but I'll like you tomorrow. Boy, you went on. I called your show and you went off on me. It's not personal. It's fun. It's you and your buddies sitting at the bar, debating sports, debating personalities, debating topics. That's what we do, right? And if you get your feelings hurt, dust them off, get up, and let's get back at it the next day. Same here. Same here. So let's freaking roll. Let's do this. I'm so pumped. Really. You can see I'm pumped. I've never experienced anything like the last 24 hours. Never. Never. Thank you. I'm so appreciative. I don't know what else to say. Thank you. Fox Sports Radio Sacramento, Fox Sports Radio KSAC, KSAC. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I cannot wait to get rolling. I'm just still blown away. Here we go. 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Fox Sports Radio, Sacramento. September 2nd, 3 p.m. Do not be late. Do not be late. Because I'm back in Sac, and you're back with me, and we're taking over the market. You understand? Do you freaking understand what I'm saying? We're taking over the market. Okay? All of us. All of us. We're taking over the market. Got it? I thought so. Thank you very much. Wow. What time is it? Wow. That's a pretty good 24-minute open, eh? So what do you want to talk about today? You want to know the truth? This is the first time I'm ever going to say this since I was a little kid. This is the first time I'm going to admit something to you. I have no idea what the hell's going on in the world. I don't have any idea what happened in the last 24 hours anywhere in the world. You want to talk to me about something that happened in sports last night? I'm going to say, man, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have not even looked, okay, at anything related to sports or the news because I have been doing nothing other than getting back to people and letting them know that I saw their message. That's all I've been doing. And if I'm lying, may the New York Giants go 0-17. They may go 0-17 anyway, but no, seriously. If I'm lying, may the New York Giants never win another game. That is all I've been doing. I have no idea about anything else going on in the world, either news or sports. I'm just being honest. So if you want to talk about something in sports, I hope it's from at least 2 days ago, because I won't be able to answer this. And I'll say, God, I'm really sorry. Smiley says Toronto Blue Jays scored 45 runs and 63 hits in 3 games. Smiley, were they playing the Yankees again? My team, who sucks. Smiley's up in beautiful Calgary, Alberta. I love Calgary. Used to go up there and announce Canadian Football League games with the Chinook wins. I'm like, what's a Chinook win? They go, you'll find out. And boy, did I ever. Thank you, Dorian. Appreciate you. Enjoy the moment, brother. It's all good. We are enjoying the moment with you. Thank you, buddy. Archie Manning says his grandson won't declare for the NFL draft in 2026 and likely to remain with Texas. Interesting. That's interesting. What do you think? First of all, do you think that's true? What would happen if Arch had a great year? Why stay at Texas if you're going to be the number 1 pick? We'll see. That's interesting that he said that. John says, Grant, the Giants are going to win 3 or 4 games either way. I'm afraid you're right. Smiley says, you're awesome, Grant. Memory like no other. Thank you very much. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can tell you what happened at the California Bowl in a broadcast booth in 1983. I can tell you about the first time I saw Y.A. Tittle in 1962 as a 3-year-old throw a pass to Del Schaffner, number 85, to my left in the end zone. I can remember that, but I can't remember what the hell I had to eat yesterday. That's pretty much the truth. I can remember what happened on a 3rd and 18 Okay. Excuse me. 3rd and 17 in a big game. I can remember the defensive front for the Giants in the 60s, led by number 64, John Mendenhall, into the 70s with Fred Dreyer on one side and Jack Gregory, number 81, on the other side. I can tell you about Willie Williams, number 41, and Spider Larkart, 43, in the defensive backfield during that era. I can tell you all about that, but I can't tell you what the hell I had to eat yesterday. Wow. Let's do this. I'm so pumped. Man. I've been watching a few Jose Canseco clips. He made some good points about Mark McGwire hitting 49 homers in 87 in Oakland Coliseum is the worst park to hit homers in. Well, the stadium back then and the stadium now is completely different because of Mount Davis. But, I mean, first of all, they were cheating, right? They were on steroids. So, I mean, you have to factor that in as well. I don't know if that was the case back then. I covered that team, and I covered that team at spring training, and I covered that team quite a bit. Ed in Chile. What's up, Ed? How are you, buddy? So happy for you. Sorry I missed the stream yesterday. I have a very good excuse, though. Thank you, buddy. Go back and watch it, Ed. Go back and watch it. John said he had tri-tip yesterday. You know what's crazy? I can't remember what I had to eat, but I remember what John had because he showed everyone here on the stream yesterday. John, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. Absolutely awesome. By the way, the New York Post dropped a big story on me earlier, so go to the New York Post and check out the story that was written on me. All right? Yes, indeed. Fred Dreyer played with the Giants before going to the Rams, number 89. Fred Dreyer on one side, Jack Gregory, John Mendenhall, excellent defense, and the prevent offense. For years, Norm Snead, Gary Wood, Craig Morton. God, I'm bringing back horrible memories. And the New York Giants prevent offense. Are you doing Grant's Rants? Please, please, please. Of course I'm doing Grant's Rant on the radio show. Of course. Joe Burrow, 9 of 10, 123, 2 touchdowns tonight. Cody, you know what? I'm glad you said that, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? I'll tell you why. All right? Let me get back to this real important message here. Cody, what happened to the Bengals last year? They got off to that miserable start. Miserable. Same thing the year before, right, Cody? And then the second half of last year, they ended the season on an incredible run. And they played on Saturday. And on Sunday, if the Chiefs had won, they would have been in the playoffs. But they rested everybody and they got clobbered. And I think Zach Taylor, by throwing out his starters, is saying enough with the slow start. We're going to be ready coming out of the gate week 1. And if we get an injury or two, so be it. But I'm not going through what we went through last year. What do you think about that, Cody? You think there's some truth to that? What do you think about that? 0-3, 1-4 that week. 1 loss to New England was crazy. Yeah. But Cody, don't you think that's what's going on there? Haunted horse. Bengals need an average defense to become champs. I don't disagree with that. I mean, Burrow was, I think, maybe the best quarterback in football last year, but he couldn't win the MVP. You can't give the MVP to a quarterback on a team that doesn't make the playoffs, but it wasn't because of him. He was great. You know, if Burrow stays upright, when you look at those receivers, I mean, Jamar Chase is one of the best in football. Higgins, you know, you look at that team, offensively, they're going to score, but you're right, defensively, they got to get it done. Broncos destroyed the Chiefs the final week. Yes, they did. Cody, nobody played for Kansas City. They rested everybody. Yeah, I'm a Saints fan. I'm still waiting for the announcement of our quarterback. I wonder if Spencer Rattler's going to get the job. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that. I was so impressed when I saw him play at Tennessee his last year at South Carolina. I was like, whoa, this guy's good. I was like, I saw him in person and I'm like, this guy's good. Tell you what else is good. New Works Plumbing. When you need them for a repair, plumbing service, they've got a fix for you. And they're available around the clock 24/7 for your plumbing needs and repairs. Call the number on your screen, the website, or newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. What a 24 hours. So happy that you're back. Your Bengals do need to start stronger. The AFC North is difficult. I wonder, I don't know about where Pittsburgh and Cleveland are this year, but when you look at Baltimore and Cincinnati, I don't know. I don't have a good read on Pittsburgh yet, but wow, that is a good division. I'm not sold on Joe Burrow yet. Well, you're in the minority. The guy's already won an AFC championship. He beat Mahomes in Kansas City. He's already taken the team to the Super Bowl. Last year, he was great with a capital G. I mean, if you're not impressed with him, I don't know what would impress you. I mean, you're a Cowboys fan. You're not impressed with Joe Burrow? Are you freaking kidding me? Compared to Dak Prescott, I mean, that's like the difference between an Airbus A380 and a Cessna 150. Good Lord. Wow. I have a lot of friends who are 49ers fans, and a lot of them are not sold on Brock Purdy because they're spoiled from young in Montana. That's why. Raiders, Seahawks, taking place, Drew Lock under center. Cody, what's the over-under for the Raiders this year? Give me a number. What do you think? What do you think the number is for the Raiders? If I said, would 7.5 be appropriate? And if I said 7.5, would you go over or under? What do you go? 7. If I said 7.5. Are the Raiders getting a little bit too much hype because of Pete Carroll and they got Geno Smith this year? Obviously now they got a potentially dynamic rookie running back. I'm thinking 7.5. I'm still probably going under in that division. Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs. It's going to be hard, man. Say 8 max. I don't know whether it's 7.5 or 8.5, Cody. I'm making up my own numbers. I don't even look at that. I'm just asking you. I'm putting it at 7.5. Are you going over or you're going under? I'm just guessing. I really don't know. But I'm going under. Wow. You think the Raiders get 9 or 10 wins this season? I don't see it. I don't see it. Not in that division. That would really surprise me. That would really surprise me. Hey, don't forget about Sunrise Landing in Calusa. Go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out these beautiful models. Got some new photographs for you. Beautiful. These homes are beautiful. Adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. No Mellorews, no homeowners, and 6 models in all to choose from. So go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out everything from Blazona Development and this great project in Calusa. I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. You got a lot of options to get to Sunrise Landing in Calusa. I love talking football. I'm so happy there are games going on, right? Chargers losing Slater's a tough blow for them. I hate injuries in the preseason. Hate injuries in the preseason. Wow. Cody said the over-under 6.5. I'd probably go over. I think 7 wins is the number. I'm a big Pete Carroll guy. I think Pete's a great coach. Tough division, though. Tough division. Am I confident in Jackson Dart for the future? I wanted to see him be the starter over Wilson. I don't want to see him to be the starter over Wilson. He's not ready yet. Am I confident? I can't say I'm confident. He's on a big stage in a big fishbowl. I think the Giants are doing the right thing by having him as the third quarterback on the depth chart behind Russell Wilson and Jameis pick 6. So I think that's the right move. Don't rush him. And you drafted him. You moved up in the first round. So don't screw it up. Give him time. But Russell Wilson clearly should be the starter. And then if you're looking for a better draft pick next year and you want to ensure that, put Jameis pick 6 in the game, and that will happen. Cody says, I think Geno Smith is better than we give him credit for. I just feel Pete Carroll going to motivate this team in a big way. I like Geno Smith. He's rebounded his career and had a tremendous stint in Seattle. Incredible. Raiders win 8. Okay. Darius Slayton says the deep ball was never an option before. Now with Russell Wilson, the deep ball is back in play. Yeah, but you know what, Cody? It's only back in play if Russell Wilson is standing on his feet. It's not back in play if the offensive line can't pass block. That's why the deep ball was not in play, because you had Evan Neal at right tackle who couldn't block his freaking shadow. You had Andrew Thomas, who was hurt and has been hurt, right? That's why the deep ball wasn't in play. It wasn't because of the quarterback. It was because of the offensive line. I mean, we got to look at the offensive line, Cody. Us Saints fans love Winston. Good for you. Keep loving him. Am I excited to see what the Giants look like? How many wins do you think they'll get? Best case scenario, 6. I think they could have a top 10 defense, and their defensive front may be the best in football. Maybe. But they have the hardest schedule in the National Football League. Their schedule is brutal. 6 maybe is their ceiling. 6. See, that's why I think Dart shouldn't play, because a rookie would get killed with that line. The offensive line has gotten a little bit better. They're moving Evan Neal to guard. He's not even number 1 on the depth chart. He's number 2. The key to the Giants this season is going to be Andrew Thomas. He's currently on the PUP list. If he's not ready to go week 1 against Washington, they're going to get killed. They have to have Andrew Thomas at left tackle. Their backup left tackle is not very good. And Thomas is one of the best tackles in football, but he's not one of the best tackles in football when he's not on the field. So I wouldn't be putting Jackson Dart in the game anytime soon. Now, this is a good one. Has there been a better career resurrection in the recent past for an NFL quarterback than Geno? He was consistently ranked near the bottom amongst quarterbacks until his current stint in Seattle. Nope. I think it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And I really mean that. I've been watching the NFL since the 60s. Incredible. I mean, really incredible. And I put a lot of that on Pete Carroll. Giants lead the league in sacks this year, but couldn't stop the run, and teams saw that and started to exploit it. Yes. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is great. Maybe the best in football, one of the best. And he's great at stopping the run. And now you get Abdul Carter, who the Giants think they have an absolute phenom. And if Kayvon Thibodeau can be more consistent, you've got a pretty good front. You want to see me in Tahoe in 2026? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Sam Darnold. But the difference with Darnold is he had a much shorter career to that point than Geno. So I didn't put him in the same category, but yes. For sure. Hey, don't forget, about Bennett's Prime Seafood and Steaks. Get down there this weekend for their outstanding brunch. Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill in Rockland. You've also heard me talking about their Taste of Summer menu, which is phenomenal. Just tremendous opportunities to enjoy your entrees at a great rate. They have some new appetizers for happy hour with tremendous prices. Get down to Bennett's, Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill, and don't forget about their weekend brunch. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Brian Burns is really good too. I didn't mention him. Sorry, you're right. I forget. I knew I was forgetting one guy. I'm a fan of Neighbors. Giants a lot is good. Yeah, he's. I think he could be one of the best receivers in the National Football League if they can get on the ball. I'm a little worried about his toe. Right now, it's not an issue, but toe, running, cutting, planting, that makes me a little nervous. That makes me a little nervous. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, I want to thank everyone for the last 24 hours. I'm not going to go that long today. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm fried. I'm so pumped with adrenaline, but I'm like, I haven't slept much. And I'm literally like on my phone all the time, trying to respond to all the messages. Again, I don't even know what's going on in the world. I really need to spend 30 minutes and look at everything going on in the sports world and see if there's anything going on in the news. I don't really care about what's going on in the news because I'm in Thailand. When I say I don't care, I'm being cynical. There's nothing wrong with this place. It's freaking beautiful. Such a nice culture. No racism. Very, very low crime. No shoplifting or hardly any at all. If you're sitting on a cafe on a street, and if you leave your backpack there or your phone, you can come back in 2 hours. It's right there. Nobody stole it. You're on your motorbike. You put your helmet on your handlebars. Come back 8 hours later. It's still there. You don't have to worry about it. Inexpensive. Get a good lunch for $2. Get a great dinner for under $10. Take the airport link from downtown Bangkok to Suvarnabhumi Airport in 22 minutes for $1.20. Right? Like, it's unbelievable. I can go on and on. So I'm going to enjoy my 2 weeks here and then get back to the States and get ready to roll on September 2nd. Appreciate all of you. I'm going to wrap it up, all right? See you tomorrow. Appreciate the heck out of you. We'll wrap up the week. I promise you tomorrow I'll know a little bit more about what's going on in the world, all right? Thank you, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow right here on If You Don't Like That. Bye-bye.